We have an A2485 16-inch M1 Ultra Pro Max, which was liquid damage apparently a very long time ago. According to the customer, their dog knocked over some water on it or something like that. So the dog broke the MacBook. You know, and we see, you know, quite a bit of liquid damage on the back. Originally what they reported is that the device would actually work, it would turn on, but as soon as they tried to do anything on it, it would fail. So this is like, you know, they try to run a video, it would shut down. And really all we see for actual, you know, signs of liquid damage here are on the back side of the board around, it looks like something for like speaker amplification or something like that. A little bit of corrosion on the HDMI port, we'll clean that off, but this is probably going to be our primary issue. And right now this machine does not turn on at all. So we're probably just going to replace most of the stuff in this area right here. I think we can probably get this chip off of an M2 Mac Air board and M1 Pro. I'm assuming that this chip is here somewhere, but we'll double check actually. We'll actually look up the, we can just look up that chip number and we'll see if we can find that. SN012. Okay, and we have a hit on our M2 board. It's UR6600. Oh, 660. Maybe it's just this on here. Schematic doesn't exactly match, but yeah, this looks like our guy. And we have two of them, so there's a couple identical chips here. Okay, let's get all this ugly stuff off of here, and probably we're gonna fix some burnt traces and make the MacBook live again. Okay.
So essentially over this next few minutes, this is really just rework on the board. We already see the problem and know what needs to be done. Really what's happening on this device, initially the customer reported that it would shut down intermittently, or like when they tried to play a video. So we see there's, you know, this chip and the components around it are stuff for audio. It's a speaker amp circuit basically, but it still interacts with PP3V8 AON, which is just an always on line. So this is kind of similar to maybe like a 3v3 G3 hot short on, let's say, a pre Apple silicone MacBook. You know, I think I just had a customer come in here, so I had to mute my microphone because I was talking to them while I was doing this. But the next few minutes are basically just rework on the board. We're removing you know, bad resistors and capacitors and these IC chips, and then we pull the parts that we need off of an M2 MacBook Air motherboard, just using the part search function on Paul Daniels' FlexBoard View software, the best software made by an Australian, from what we can tell. I don't need to yap over all of this. I'll just put some, you know, rights-free music over the rest of the rework here. And then after we do all that, we ultrasonic the board, clean it, get it back together, and test it. And the MacBook does indeed live. The dog did not kill the MacBook after all. We were able to resuscitate it. So we'll yap some more at the end of the video.
All right, the dog did not finish off the MacBook entirely, and we have resuscitated it. So the dog did not eat the MacBook entirely. It just basically spilled some water on some stuff for the speaker amp, which goes on a, basically interacts with our main power rail. That's why we weren't getting any power. The behavior that I saw on this was essentially all 4 ports, so all 4 USB-C ports. MagSafe is basically just a USB-C port. It has its own CD3217. Think of it as like MagSafe just has the lines for charging that a USB-C or a Thunderbolt port would have on this machine, and a magnet, basically. And then they can sell you another cable. So this runs power okay now, and what we saw originally is on all 4 ports, it would actually cycle up to 20 volts and then loop off. The machine would not turn on. And really all we had was just a handful of corroded components on the back of the board. This really wasn't incredibly thinky. One thing that I think maybe is of note is initially, when this came in, it didn't turn on at all, but the customer did report that when he tried to run a video, it would shut down. So my thought is maybe it was more that when audio was trying to play, it would shut down because we had all this corrosion on these speaker amp lines. So when they tried to boost up power to make the audio louder or something, the machine would get sad and turn off. But this machine should be all good. Actually still need a passcode from the customer just to test a little bit more thoroughly, but I think we'll be being chilling, as it were. So we'll see you in the next one, buddies.